Hello guys. In class we talked about simple interest, and since we didn't get to finish everything, I'm going to go over some of the parts with you guys. Okay. So we talked about how interest equals principal times rate times time, and we were able to finish up to getting the interest of our first question. Now, for your homework question, you're going to have questions like 4 through 10 that ask you two parts of different answers. So, first, they'll ask you the interest that you earned, and then the final balance of the account. So, I put A for the first part, which is the interest earned, and I'm just going to add the second part, which is going to be the total balance of the account. So all you have to do is to add what you originally had, and then just add 153, which was the interest amount. And if you add those two, you are going to have $1,003. So if I'm asking, hey, what's the total after 3 years of that amount of interest, you can have $1,003 for your final answer. I am going to show you another one where you may be missing different parts of your information. So how about finding an annual interest rate? Okay, so when you're finding the interest rate, annual interest rate is just the rate that we're talking about every year, how much of an increase you're going to have from your principal. So I'm going to use some of your odd number questions from your textbook. So if you want to refer back, you can go ahead and do that and take a look at it. Let's see. I'm going to look number 13, where you have the information. Interest was $24, principal was $400, and time was 2 years. Now I have all the information except R. I don't know what R is. So I'm going to set up the equation as what I know already. So my 24 equals 400 times R. I don't know what R is, so I'm going to just use R. And then time, which is 2. So first, before I can do anything, I am going to work with 402, and I'm going to multiply it. The good thing about multiplication or addition is the order does not matter. They're going to give you the same answer. So if I do that, it's going to be 800 times R. Okay. Now if I have 800 times R equals 24, we can use our problem solving skills to find out what R is going to be. Right now I'm multiplying 800 and R, and I need to find out what R is. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to divide both sides by 800 so I can find out what the rate is going to be. So 800 and 800, they cancel out, and then you do 24 divided by 800. Okay, I'll give you some time to work on it. So rate is going to be, now when you have the answer for the rate, it's going to give you the decimal answer. In this case, 0.03. What should we take into consideration though? Rate is 0.03 because we have to use the percentage in the decimal format. However, when you're writing the rates, we are not going to leave it as 0.03. We have to change it back into percentage, which is going to be 3%, because you move 2 decimal to the right. Okay, so for this answer, it's going to be 3% of annual interest rate, which is not that big, but oftentimes you'll find it as a small increase. Now, sometimes you have information like find this. So finding the of time. Sometimes you're going to be missing the important piece. For how long? We have the interest, we have the principal, we have the rate, but how long was it for? So we have to find out. Again, I'm going to use one of the odd numbers. I'm going to do number 19 because it's using decimals for the percentage. So I, which is interest, was $54. My principal was $800, and rate is 4.5%. Now, if the rate is 4.5%, I'm just going to go ahead and change this into 1, 2, so 0.045, and that's going to be the number that I'll be using for this question, and I don't know what t is going to be. So I set up the equation again. I equals P times R times T. My interest was 54. Principal was 800. Rate was 0.045. And then I have T. So again, I'm going to multiply 800 and 0.045. Okay, which will give me actually 36 times t. Okay, so after this, same operation as I did on the top with the rate, I am going to divide both sides by 36. Why? Because I want to get rid of 36 by doing a reverse operation. Okay, so this is reverse operation. Okay, so now all I have to do is to divide 54 by 36, which is going to give me the answer of 1.5. Okay, that means what? If it's 1.5 years, that means I am really just spending a year and a half or 18 months or whatever. Okay. Do we have anything else? Now, the last one that you have is going to be finding, let's see, the amount paid for loan. I think you were able to find out. Am I missing anything? Principal. Ooh, what if you have to find out the principal? What if you have to find out the principal? It's going to work in the same way, basically. Usually you'll have those given, so I don't think I have to go over those with you. Amount paid for the loan. Yeah. But I'll just go over that. Okay, finding the principal. Okay, same thing. Let's say I don't know what principal is, but I'm going to have interest of 6.5%. Rate. Oh, my bad. Interest rate of 6.5%. And interest is going to be 828.75, and then time for 1.5 years. I have to find out the principal. Okay, so what I do, same thing, I equals PRT 828.75 equals, I don't know the principal, but rate 0.065 times 1.5. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first step, multiply these two numbers, 0.065 times 1.5, which is going to give you a small number of 0.065. 0.0975, and then you have to divide that. Okay, so from here, again, I forgot a P right here. Okay, divide both sides. Okay, so 828.75 divided by 0.0975. Okay. And when you do that, it actually comes out to be a clean number of $8,500. Okay, so here are the ways that you can find out 4 different information: time, principal, interest rate, or the interest itself. The questions that you have for homework, they're not so challenging because they give you what information you have and what information you don't have. And then after you guys are okay with going through the questions, we'll be working on some word questions later on. Okay, good luck with your homework.